Hey, 49ers faithful. Today we are diving into everything you need to know as the regular season is wrapped up and we look ahead to the playoffs. The San Francisco 49ers had an incredible run this year, and there's so much to unpack, from key player performances to what we can expect against the Philadelphia Eagles. This season brought plenty of highs and lows, but the resilience and talent on this roster have been on full display. Every week, watching the team battle through tough matchups has been a thrill, and now, as we approach this next challenge, the stakes could not be higher. Looking back at the season, certain games stand out as defining moments. One matchup that immediately comes to mind is that showdown against the Philadelphia Eagles earlier in the year. Deebo Samuel was absolutely electric, turning what could have been a routine contest into a highlight reel performance. For receptions for over 100 yards and multiple touchdowns, really showcased his ability to change the game when it mattered most. Even though that wasn't quite as dominant as his legendary 2021 season, it was an important statement of his value to the team. Elijah Mitchell, Brandon Ayuk, and Jordan Mason also contributed significantly, and it's remarkable how many players from that game remain on the roster, ready to impact the team once again. Seeing the continuity in talent gives a sense of confidence as we approach the postseason. As we shift our focus toward the Eagles matchup, one player to watch is Demotor Leonard. His coverage has been incredibly solid this season, and while he hasn't been targeted heavily, his ability to limit big plays could be pivotal. When analyzing his stats, it's clear that his presence in the secondary can disrupt the rhythm of opposing quarterbacks. This week's question is all about predicting how many passing yards he will allow against Philly, and it's one that could have a major influence on the outcome. The Eagles' offense features dangerous weapons like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, but Leonard's ability to read the play and maintain tight coverage will be critical in slowing down those threats. Teams have often targeted other corners when he's on the field, but even a few key opportunities can swing the game in the 49ers' favor. Beyond individual performances, the schedule for next season has also been released, and it provides some fascinating insights. The 49ers avoided some of the toughest opponents that other teams will face, which could make a big difference in terms of overall outcomes. Traveling to play teams like Miami, Minnesota, and Atlanta rather than Buffalo, Green Bay, or Tampa Bay offers a more favorable path. The distribution of travel and the timing of certain matchups gives the 49ers a slight edge in terms of preparation and recovery, which is often underestimated but incredibly important in high-stakes games. Considering the way the team has handled injuries and personnel challenges this season, being able to enter matchups well-rested is a luxury that can't be overlooked. When we examine the Eagles as a team, it's clear they are formidable, but not as overwhelming as they were last season. Their offense ranks solidly in the middle of the league in terms of efficiency, and while they have star talent, there are some areas of vulnerability that the 49ers can exploit. Defensive consistency will be key for San Francisco, especially considering how the Seahawks exposed weaknesses last week. The 49ers have the opportunity to approach the game with new strategies, adjusting for what was learned in prior matchups and leveraging the unique skills of their roster. Trent Williams and Ricky Pyral's health and readiness are crucial, as both provide significant advantages in maintaining an effective offensive line and opening lanes for the running game. The division the 49ers play in, the NFC West, has been incredibly competitive this season, with 3 teams achieving 12 or more wins. The level of competition has been unmatched, making every regular season victory hard-earned. When comparing the NFC West to the NFC East, it's clear the 49ers have been battle-tested against a higher caliber of opposition, and that experience will be invaluable in the postseason. Even though the Eagles had some big wins during the season, including against Buffalo, the overall consistency of their schedule has not matched the challenges the 49ers faced week after week. This contrast highlights why the 49ers are uniquely prepared to handle the pressures of playoff football. Another aspect to consider is the impact of recent losses and setbacks, which can often serve as a wake-up call for championship-caliber teams. Experiencing adversity late in the season can create a sense of urgency and humility, motivating the players to elevate their performance when it counts the most. The 49ers will approach the Eagles game with the lessons learned fresh in their minds, ready to correct mistakes, exploit mismatches, and maximize their offensive and defensive efficiency. Kyle Shanahan's leadership and approach to preparation will be a key factor here, as he emphasizes adaptability and creativity to outmaneuver opponents. The team's ability to remain focused and execute under pressure will define how far they can go in the playoffs. Looking at the numbers, Philadelphia's offense is ranked 14th in EPA per play, while their defense is among the top 5. Their special teams, however, lag behind, which could give San Francisco an edge in field position and scoring opportunities. By capitalizing on this, the 49ers can put themselves in favorable situations to dictate the pace of the game. Every decision, from play calling to personnel matchups, will have amplified importance in a playoff setting, and the team's depth and versatility are assets that will be tested. The combination of a resilient roster, strategic leadership, and favorable matchups provides optimism for 49ers fans heading into this high-stakes contest. Even with all these considerations, the game in Philadelphia will not be easy. The Eagles are disciplined, physical, and motivated, especially with the memory of last year's matchups still fresh. Every tackle, every coverage assignment, and every execution of the game plan will matter, and the 49ers must bring precision and focus to each play. Offensive threats need to step up, and defenders must maintain consistent coverage to limit big gains. The ability to adapt mid-game, identify weaknesses, and exploit opportunities will define the outcome. As we watch the team prepare, it's clear that mental fortitude, physical endurance, and strategic planning will all play equally important roles in the final result. Special attention must also be paid to the offensive line, which has been healthy this season but will face intense pressure from a motivated Philadelphia front. Protecting the quarterback and creating space for the running game will be essential. Players like Deebo Samuel and CMC may not be performing at their peak as in past seasons, but their experience and skill sets can still provide crucial advantages. It's a balance of veteran leadership, emerging talent, and cohesive teamwork that will allow the 49ers to compete effectively in such a challenging environment. The story of this season and of the playoff run ahead revolves around the ability of the 49ers to synthesize lessons learned, overcome adversity, and leverage the full depth of their roster. Every matchup has built toward this point, from the division clashes to the final weeks of the regular season. The team has faced injury challenges, tough travel schedules, and formidable opponents, but the growth in strategy, chemistry, and resilience has been evident. As fans, the excitement comes from seeing how these factors converge in a critical playoff setting where every play has enormous consequences. The challenge against the Eagles offers both a test and an opportunity. Adjustments will be key, especially after evaluating the lessons from games against teams like the Seahawks. The 49ers have the chance to implement fresh approaches, optimize player usage, and exploit the unique tendencies of their opponent. The mental and physical preparation of the roster will be central, as the players must balance aggressive play with disciplined execution. Every yard gained, every defensive stop, and every strategic decision could shift momentum and influence the result in what promises to be a fiercely contested matchup. Heading into Philadelphia, the San Francisco 49ers know they cannot afford any lapses. The intensity of playoff football demands focus, precision, and adaptability from the very first snap. Every matchup in the postseason feels magnified, and the Eagles, despite some inconsistencies this season, remain a threat due to their experience, talented roster, and disciplined game plan. For the Niners, this is about more than just executing plays. It is about imposing their will on the game, finding mismatches, and leveraging every advantage they have accumulated throughout the season. One thing is clear. This team has been battle-tested like few others, and the lessons learned from the grind of the NFC West will be instrumental as they prepare to face an Eagles team that is hungry to prove themselves on the national stage. On offense, the 49ers will lean heavily on the versatility of Christian McCaffrey, whose ability to contribute both as a runner and a receiver keeps defenses on edge. Even with Debo Samuel's production fluctuating in recent seasons, his experience and ability to create explosive plays remain key factors. Targeting favorable matchups and maintaining a balanced attack will allow the offense to sustain drives and control the tempo. Protecting the quarterback will be crucial, especially against an Eagles defensive front that is adept at generating pressure and disrupting timing. The offensive line has been remarkably consistent this season, with Trent Williams providing stability and leadership. If the line can hold up against Philadelphia's pass rush, the 49ers will have the foundation needed to execute both short, methodical drives and big explosive plays. Defensively, the focus will be on limiting big plays from Philadelphia's star receivers. Demotor Leonard's coverage skills will be put to the test, and his ability to maintain tight coverage and communicate effectively with the rest of the secondary could determine the outcome of crucial passing situations. Teams have often attempted to exploit the corners when Leonard is on the field, but his instincts and preparation allow him to neutralize those opportunities. The linebackers will need to maintain discipline, ensuring gaps are filled and tackling is precise, especially against a running game that has seen some decline this season. Pressuring the quarterback without overcommitting will be a delicate balance, but if executed correctly, it could force turnovers and short fields for the offense, creating scoring opportunities in a high-stakes environment. Special teams also play an outsized role in playoff matchups, and here the 49ers have an advantage. Field position can dictate strategy and momentum, and reliable kicking, coverage, and return units give San Francisco the tools to win the hidden battle that often decides close postseason games. Even a single misstep on special teams can swing momentum. So attention to detail in this phase of the game is just as important as any offensive or defensive scheme. The Eagles' special teams rank lower than the Niners, creating opportunities to capitalize on any errors or lapses. Another critical aspect is the psychological component of this matchup. Philadelphia may have the home field advantage, but the 49ers have already faced adversity this season, including injuries and tough road games that have tested their resolve. Humility from recent losses, combined with lessons learned from previous high-pressure situations, will allow the team to approach the game with both caution and confidence. Kyle Shanahan's leadership emphasizes adaptability, creativity, and problem-solving, which are all qualities that are magnified in playoff scenarios. How the team responds to unexpected challenges and mid-game adjustments will ultimately define their postseason trajectory. Looking at the Eagles' roster, their strengths are balanced by vulnerabilities. Their offense is ranked in the middle of the league in efficiency, and while they boast star power, inconsistency has emerged in key situations. Saquon Barkley, for example, has not replicated his previous elite performances, and the running game may not pose the same threat it once did. This provides an opening for the 49ers to control the game through sustained drives and explosive opportunities in the passing game. Defensively, the Eagles are stout but not impenetrable. Linebacker play outside of their standout performers has been uneven, and the defensive line, while talented, can be tested by creative play calling and strategic misdirection. By applying pressure and exploiting mismatches, the Niners can tilt the field in their favor, particularly if they maintain discipline and execute at a high level. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are growing louder around Santa Clara after an alleged closed-door outburst attributed to head coach Kyle Shanahan sent shockwaves through the 49ers orbit. According to multiple team-adjacent sources, the normally measured play caller is said to have snapped during an internal meeting, delivering a line that has since ricocheted through the league. "We have two locker room cancers, and I will eliminate both." Whether spoken in raw frustration or calculated theatrics, the quote has ignited speculation about deep fissures inside one of football's most scrutinized locker rooms. Those familiar with the situation insist the comment was not a literal threat, but rather a stark metaphor for what Shanahan allegedly views as corrosive influences undermining accountability and focus. Still, The language alone suggests a boiling point. For a coach long praised for emotional control and clarity of vision, such an explosion hints at tensions that may have simmered well beyond public view. The rumor mill has predictably gone into overdrive. Are the targets established veterans resisting evolving roles? Younger talents bristling at expectations? Personalities clashing with a culture built on precision and sacrifice? No names have surfaced, but insiders suggest the issues cut across playing time, leadership hierarchy, and buy-in to the weekly grind. In a league where distractions can derail even the most gifted rosters, Shanahan's alleged stance signals an uncompromising reset. Around the NFL, rival executives are watching closely. Any hint of internal discord on a high-profile roster tends to trigger trade inquiries, quiet calls, and contingency planning. Agents, too, are said to be on alert, gauging whether this rhetoric foreshadows roster moves, reduced roles, or a dramatic separation designed to reassert control. For now, the organization remains publicly silent, neither confirming nor denying the reported comments. But silence, in this case, only fuels intrigue. If the rumor holds any truth, it paints a picture of a coach willing to risk short-term turbulence to protect what he believes is the locker room's long-term health. In a league defined by razor-thin margins, the question isn't whether Shanahan can coach through talent, but whether he can excise distraction without tearing the fabric he's spent years weaving. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.